Welcome back. I'm Grandpa. We're playing Valheim. Last time we went and met Hildir, set up a portal when we can get to her, and then we're going to head to the swamp. But we got to figure out which swamp we want to start with. There's a small swamp over here. We could begin exploration. See how that does. We don't need to worry about where the trove killed us anymore. Or we could come over here to where Hildir is and look at going to a swamp over here. So this swamp abuts the plains over here. Let's take a look at this one. Either one's not real close to home. If we go to this one, we're going to be sailing. I think there's a gap in there, but we didn't check it out. Let's take the boat. Let's head south, and then let's take the boat around the bend down here. Well, let's take the boat to the Elder, and we can launch right around here. That's our treasure. There's the boat. We're gonna need portal. That's just plain wood. Okay. No. Well, where'd we put the portal stuff? Here we go. Let's get 20 of that. 2 of those. And these 10. That's what we need for a portal. Let's double check. Gonna need to eat. We can do a boat. We can do a portal. They both look like they're good to go. Alright, let's put our food back. And I got 9 of everything, so we're in pretty good shape. Let's rename this to the Elder. Let's rename this to nothing. So we'll use the Elder to jump over to the location we want to start from. And then as we're adventuring, we can use the unnamed portal for quick link and jumping back. Just by the quick link, I mean if we're in a hurry and we drop a workstation, the crafting table, and then we drop the portal, it's right there. We have yet to mark this on the map. No, we marked it, I see it. Okay. And where we want to go is south and just a hair west, south by southwest. East, west, this way. Gonna be on the other side of our We did check this out, right? I know we did. We've been here before. We've even looked at this as, did we check this out? So the mushrooms grow back, but the doors are open. That's how we know we've been here before. Is there a door? Yeah, there's a door. So it'd be a waste of time to go back through here. Gotta be sure we mark these. Did I mark it? We did, so we're just wasting time. I just like to explore the dungeons. That's the fun part for me. South. That right over here, I think. Yeah. Let's go see what we got. Got some gray dwarfs. We'll take the feathers, but you can keep that. I have no need for a wood spear. Well, that's a drop-off. Copper vein, should we ever want another one. Copper deposit would be better terminology. Got a spawner we could take out over there. It's an interesting gash in the land right there. Copper and copper. That's unusual. I haven't, I don't know if you would call that two separate copper deposits. I would. Don't know that I've ever seen two separate copper deposits right next to each other. All right. So I believe we kind of messed around when we were boating past here to look and see if that was something we could sail through, which looks like it is. And I just don't see a reason to go to that swamp. If we did, we'd take a raft, but I don't want to do that. Let's drop a workbench right here. Right, we didn't bring wood. And that's a forge, so that won't matter. There's a workbench. We need 10 wood. And we didn't bring in. Wait, we brought one piece of wood? Okay. We're gonna need wood. 10 wood. And can we get it without drawing a whole lot of attention? From our friendlies in the neighborhood. That's 10, that's really all we need. We'll want to take it with us after we put the boat together. I don't see or hear anybody coming. Let's grab a little extra. Don't want it to fall on that rock. Repair. Grab the workbench. And jump in. Now last time we sailed around neither side of this. Can we get through there? If I can make this turn, I think I can get through there. It's almost nighttime, so this is not the right time to be doing this. We only got about 5 minutes. We could drop the sail for some speed. But I kind of want to be cautious. So as we look through here, we can see a Drugar over there. We can see some creatures around. There's some skellies. But what we don't see is much land that we can walk on. We don't see anything close to a sunken crypt, which is what we're headed, what we really want to find, is sunken crypts. Getting ahead of us a little bit, mentioning things we haven't seen. I'm hoping that we can go over here, find some solid land that we can walk through to explore this area. There's a water creature. We're going to run into them later. I think we saw one earlier. Like giant worms, giant leeches. Still not seeing any of the structures that we really need to look for. There's a Drugar right there in the water. This is the majority of this swamp is underwater. Would be really hard to navigate because we'd be swimming so much. And all that swimming would just probably end up drowning. Let's see if we can miss this rock. Nope. Alright. I can't see where I'm going. I don't want to turn around. Okay. Now we're stuck. That's not good. And we got a Drugar attacking the boat. No, it's a leech. Are we still stuck? Not moving. There we go. Let's get some speed up. And there's that rock again. Or we're being high-centered, I don't know which. Oh yeah, that was a shallow area. Alright. Now we've got a damaged boat sailing at night. I think that rain is just the swamp. And then this area up here looks like the little tiniest piece of plains. Yeah, it says we're in the plains. Don't get too close. There's some fuelings is what they call those little guys that occupy the plains. It's not what we were looking for. Interesting glow along the shoreline over there. I think that's just the moon. Okay, now we lost our sail. There's still swamp over there. This is Black Forest because we can see the Grey Dwarfs. We could land here. Throw down a portal. And hope that nothing destroys our boat. That's a brute. And that looks like Odin. Oh, that's a bear. Oh shit, I don't want anything to do with that. And we're stuck. Here we go. Gonna back out of here quick. Hopefully we don't lose our boat. Probably don't want to sail, but we want to go forward. They're swimming out to meet us, so let's get some speed up and get the heck out of here. You'd think they would drown. Oh my god. You'd think they would drown just the same as us. Would be nice, but they don't seem to. Guess we picked the wrong spot to land and the wrong night to sail. Our boat's got to be pretty beat up. That is obviously the swamp with those green stuff on the trees. I see some rocks ahead, so I'm going to try to steer around that. Just can't see, and I can't think of anything much worse than dying at sea, because it's a real setback. We must be getting close to a shoreline. We are. It's Black Forest. There's a bear over there. I can hear him. Let's see if we can find some safety. Water's calming, that's good. And kill our forward. There's a little cove right here. I think that's where we're going to leave it. Alright. Quick as we can, crafting table. And there we go. Come on over here. Leave my boat alone. Alright, let's repair the boat while we can. Wasn't in too bad a shape, really. Alright. We don't have a million creatures around. We should be... Hopefully the boat will make it through the night. We're just going to leave it there. Had to take our chances. Worst case, maybe the... I hear a Drugar. There shouldn't be any Drugar near here, but I swear that sounded like a Drugar. You hear something chopping? The animals don't seem too excited. Well, I'm not seeing anything, so... Whatever it is appears to be gone. Let's go back and check on that boat and continue our trip. Not the elder. You know, this might be a good spot to start exploring from. Maybe we can find... Actually, let's get back in the boat and sail up. Nah, let's just run it. Okay, short break, be right back. All right. Let's see. Water's not terribly deep right here. Let's tear this down and take it back to the cabin. Because we're backing up. It's not exactly what I want. Can't tell how deep the water is right here. I'm hoping that back here, in the back, that it's pretty shallow. I just don't want the nails to sink to the bottom and we're not being able to get it. That should be pretty shallow. Let's try it. Step forward. Alright, looks like we got everything. Oh my god, that is plains right there. So that's pretty risky. If we get a fueling come out of those plains, we're going to be hard pressed to defend ourselves. So, let's move away from there. It's only 20, isn't it? Yes, it's only 20. We'll keep that on us. Let's get rid of this stuff. Seeds. Feathers. We want to keep a little bit of wood. Don't need the bones. And we don't need the yellow mushroom. Time to eat. Somewhere along the line I must have hit. We're not going to the and keep hitting the Q instead of the W. Alright, big mistake, but we're going to pick up the portal and hope that we don't die. Like that. Poor guy. Hard to say if we'll ever come back here, but if we do, we know where the blueberries are. Got more company coming, looks like. Got more blueberries. God, I thought I felt the earth shaking. That right there, through the woods, that's another burial crypt. And it looks like we got a 1 or 2 star skelly. And 2 normal. No, not exactly normal. I think I'm gonna repurpose this. We don't have a boat with us. We don't have any method of getting back. Let's drop this right here. Now the skeletons will pop back up. And they'll chop that on that until it breaks. You see that little bit of plains right here creeping into the Black Forest. Too close for my comfort. More blueberries in a tighter space than I think we've mapped anywhere else. There's a gray dwarf spawner. We're going to want to take that out. There is a leech, and there's a Drugar. Oh, we don't have our shield out. One of those is a 1 star. Get around here. We're gonna get killed. Let's say heal up. Okay. Don't like those Drugars sneaking up on me like that. But at least it wasn't an abomination. Which the abomination is the troll of the swamp. We can't drink another healing potion for a while. Gonna leave these guys out. And, oh, 3 of them. Two 1-star. Oh. That was closer than I had hoped. Yeah, I don't really want it anyway. Don't want butte berries. Don't want an ancient seed. What I'd like to find is an abandoned tower. In this general area. Holy cow, that's a mushroom. What would you call that? Mushroom field? Mushroom patch? Prior to starting this stream, I was listening and timestamping one of the old streams. And if you set the audio or the playback to 1.5 speed, 1.25 speed, really improves things. That swamp. Hope we don't see more Drugar archers. Yeah, there's a few of them, but that swamp just doesn't look worth exploring. It's not, I don't think that's what we're looking for. So I think what we'll do is pick up our portal, find someplace better for it. And then go back and simply abandon this area. Don't know, I can't decide. At the same time I feel like, well, maybe we should look around a little more. There's the abandoned tower we were looking for. But like, what's on this edge of the Black Forest? It's nighttime, soon. Let's head back to that crypt before we get into some kind of trouble we can't get out of. Oh, and there's the trouble. Does he have... No, he doesn't have. Really mistiming all of our blocks here. There we go. Now we're gonna have to ditch some stuff. We don't need a trophy. We're not hurting for bones. We're definitely not hurting for stone. Alright. So, a troll standing outside the troll cave. There's probably another one inside. Just gotta decide if we've got the time to do this or not. I don't see one. Let's see if we can find any treasure in here. Yellow mushroom. We can quit sneaking. Amber. Can't pick it up. We don't need gray dwarf eyes. We got the pearl. Okay. There's another pearl. Some gold coins. I might have to rethink my understanding of troll caves and trolls. I always thought there was always a troll inside a troll cave and that they never came out. But that makes me think he just came out. Alright, where's that burial chamber? Over here. Let's run. And let's hope we don't run into a bear. Or another burial chamber. Stuck. There we go. Yeah, worst case, something destroys that, and we can't go back there right away. We'll clear out our inventory in the morning. And we still need 3 more troll skins, I think. No, we now have 10. Treasure. Which one's treasure? That one is. Okay. Trophy. Trophy? No. Trophies. We need some bones. I think we're gonna need more than that. Overflow. Upgrade. Troll hide cape. Max level for now. We can't do the workbench upgrades until we further our progress through the swamp. So we've got our armor up to 33. Not bad. Not bad at all. Fully upgraded bronze would add just a few points to that, but it wouldn't have the sneak. I think we did okay. Axe would have been better against the troll. But we need to work on those skills anyway. Let's grab this portal and let's walk through the Black Forest a little more. If we had a need to go through burial chambers, we've got one, but I'm not sure we really need to do it right now. Let's take about the same path. Let's see what's along the shoreline. Okay, that's where we got in trouble. Don't need to go back there. There's our copper. I don't know why you didn't run. He ran. Did you come out of the swamp, or is there another burial chamber in this area? I think you guys are coming out of the swamp. And passing up carrot seeds. Gonna pass up pretty much everything. What I'd really like to find is another swamp. Alright, I'll do that. More carrot seeds. Thistle. Mushrooms. If I see blueberries, I'm not going to pass them up. Another burial chamber. Where's the entrance? Right here? Those guys are so easy to parry. Further, I believe it's true, the further we get away from the start, which we're a ways away from now, and we're seeing lots of multi-starred creatures, and it's because of that distance. What I don't want to do is walk into the plains, because we're not ready for that. So, just checking out the trees up ahead to see what I can tell. God, we got a spawner there and a spawner there. That last spawner was a lot harder than I expected. Yeah, we got a big guy here. And he's a 1-star big guy. You guys stay right there, I don't care about you. It's the next spawn. I swear I saw something walking up there. But looking ahead, it looks like everything is just black forest. Black forest trees. But we know on the other side of the island there's plains. I just don't want to come up on them all of a sudden. tower up there. Usually there's a treasure chest. I'm surprised there's not one here. But what we're not finding is any kind of trying to clean up. Man, there's stuff here. We build up our inventory. Again. Coal. We don't really need coal. We don't need stone, that's for sure. What's inside? So what's inside that really counts? Feathers is probably the thing we want the most. Don't need that at all. And I still think we're doing okay on resin. I can't decide. All of them are things that we're going to use to some extent, but we've got the most resin of anything. Looks like it's getting late. Sun's over there somewhere. Let's go stand in the sun so we can see. Yeah, I've got some time. We're gonna keep going in this direction. Maybe we'll find another swamp. Maybe we won't. But that one's not gonna work. Definitely not gonna work. The funny thing is when we come out of the Black Forest into the plains, it can be just so fast. You don't even see it happening. This, though, is the meadows. Oh, that's nice. Not seen a... Oh. This isn't the same spot, is it? But I'm almost sure that's a Drugar village. It looks like the same one that we got in trouble with before. But no. Now that's a good sized swamp for us to not Oh, and look, there's a little black forest there. Yep, there's the Drugar standing there. Alright. He's just patrolling. He hadn't seen us yet. Wait a minute. Do we have that mapped? Gonna drop a marker. Can't remember how to spell Druger. Yeah, we should eat. Getting dangerous. Shallows, where we could park a boat right here and safely get our stuff. So if we did a boat and then who knows how much land there is around here. We know that's going to be plains, could be significant. We could simply run straight across. But I think what I'd rather do is come over here, launch again from that copper deposit, and go this way this time. I don't know. Let's give up on this swamp. And let's look at going back to Hildir and launching an expedition from that side. Now that's plains there. This is Black Forest, so we can go Hildir, Meadows. Yeah, we can go to Hildir's and we can come over here and launch again. Let's do that. Oh, it's getting dark. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna abandon a portal over here. Yep, that's what we're doing. 1 second, gonna check on something. There we go. What did we pick up? Looks like we've got some food, some meat. We've got some skin, some bones, some eyes. We're getting a lot of wood. Got a trophy. Got some arrows. Yeah, it looks good. Let's grab a... Do we have enough fine wood? Doesn't look like it. Well, that was the meadows where we were. We want 20 more fine wood. Take 2 trees. Do a little hunting while we're here. Wish I had you at home. I'd like to be breeding 1-star boars because they give us more meat. Well, that's gonna roll right down that hill. But that'll give us plenty of fine wood. Sorry about that. Oh, and look at that. We got acorns. Finally. I can go plant that tree I've been wanting to plant. Boy, these guys take a long time to cut down. It reminds me, I want to make a weapon when we get back. That'll allow us to find the buried treasure in there. Okay, the reason we wanted another portal is because we want to leave this one behind. But we want to name it. And there's not a whole a lot of names that make sense for this. So we're just going to name it 1. We've got a bunch of wood. Let's do this. Let's take a moment, level the ground out. I do that every time. Don't want to do that. Building. Just a shelter big enough for the portal. Never made one like this before, but this kind of looks like a fun idea to try. Bottom center. That's not quite lined up. That's lined up. Bottom center. Alright. Just big enough for our portal. Gonna name this 1 because it's just our random portal. And that's not what I wanted. I want this. Drop a spot here. No, not that. One of these. Now, for some reason we decide we want to come back here. We can. However, we can't use it yet. Because it doesn't connect to anything. Right back where we started. Perfect. Let's take this home. Let's take that with us. Now we've got a portal. And thanks to that big oak tree, we've got some acorns. Didn't get to read what that new build, excuse me, new build piece was. No, that rock's a little too close for planting a tree right here. And why can't I pick that up? I got no room. Says he's healthy. I didn't see that tree there. That's really weird. Okay. Be curious to see how that looks. Once I see how it looks, I'm going to plant a few more around. Because I like the looks of those big oak trees, plus they're great for having around. Alright, let's clean out this inventory. Anything go in there? Probably more than I wanted. Well, we have some seeds already down here. Let's put the acorns in there for now. Gonna have to go to overflow. We don't have to, but going to. Nope. There you go. Let's trade that out. Kind of keep the food all in a line anyway. Boar meat. Need 10. Got 16 wood. We need 20 fine wood. Split the back. Repair. Haven't fed the little beasts in a while. Let's call the herd and feed the ones that are left. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. All right, you guys all get together and have fun. There they go. Like to see those hearts. I'm disappointed that we haven't come up with a good location yet for the swamp. But that's the way the ball bounces. Now, of course, I even hesitate to mention that. Nah, I think I won't. You can find that on your own. Sorry, I brought it up. That takes us back to where we were. We want to do the Elder, which will take us over. No, we want to do Hildar. Hildir. I should write it down because I'll never remember. Come on. There we go. So now that we have Hildir, we want to run across there and drop a portal. What time is it? If we can go to sleep, we're going to go to sleep. And we'll go first thing in the morning. We want the boat. Let's pick the boat up. Make sure we got enough wood for crafting table. Seems to be a common thing to not take that with us. That needs to go to overflow. Not that, that. Alright, that's our portal and our boat. Which way? That way. Actually, what happens if we go straight north? I'm hesitant about that guy. But usually a Trugar village is multiple buildings and not just one. Well, don't hear anything inside. Why can't we get in? There we go. Well, it's just a big building. We could launch from here. Looks like there's mountains over there. This is a little swampy here. Eat something, don't we? That's plains, but this is all meadows, and that's plains. The swamp was over there. Well, this might have been a false lead. A little early to eat, but let's do it anyway. Be just my luck to run into a fueling or something like that. But there's a portal on the island already, so don't have too much. And there's a bear. Just a regular bear. Not too worried about that. Yeah, big difference in the axe. He is a little bit resistant to blunt damage. See ya. I don't think we're going to be able to carry his stuff back with us unless we drop a portal. Yeah, that little bush had a lot of raspberries. Can't get the paw or the meat. I'd rather have the meat. I don't need any flint, so there's the paw. Can't stack that because it's still only going to go 50. Don't need the raspberries. Now we're into that black forest that we knew we'd be into. This might as well. Launch from here. Yeah. Still really early in the day. Let's keep running. No chest. No chest. Amber that we can't pick up unless we ditch other stuff. And blueberries. Need that for the boat. We need most everything except for bear skins. Only one way to handle this that I can think of. And that's lighten our load a little. What? We just dropped 3 things. We picked up 2 eyes, so we only dropped 2 things, and we added amber and I'll trade you. Blueberries for bones. to be careful that we don't get rid of the boat, which is this here. Those four. Keep those, get rid of this treasure. There we go. Don't want to do stacks or we'll get our deer hide intermixed. Okay. That's blank and that's where we are. Okay. Wasn't there some other stuff we dropped? Yeah, bones right here. Grey dwarf spawner. I'm gonna try to leave it behind. Hi guys. Here we go. Nice big patch of blueberries. Nope. Wrong one. That looks a little more viable. But we looked at this already, didn't we? Usually they'll just swim away. Not that time. No room in inventory. That's too bad. What could we get rid of? I think we're gonna go exploring. So lack of a better place. Not quite right. Let's try it again. Outer wall? That's better. This doesn't need to be all that fancy. I think that's right. So we want to go just like we did. No, let's use 45s though. That's a 26? Yeah. We use 45s. Checking to see if it lines up. Yep. The last one. We need wood. Alright, we got wood. Jeez, took me forever. Wish I'd remember where this stuff is. How many eyes? We don't need eyes for the boat. So we didn't lose anything there. Alright. We put bones in here. Put blueberries in here. Put arrows in here. And we've got a boat if we need it, but we're not going to take it right now. So that's right, 30, that. I think it's 20. So we did dump something we shouldn't have. 20 resin. Let's check it. 20 resin, alright. Boat? Yeah. I don't want resin overflow with the boat, so let's switch it out. We'll put trophy there. Now there's a weapon that we want called the Stag Breaker. We need 20 and 5 trophies. 20 core wood. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's just grab all the core wood. Don't know how much we're gonna need for upgrades. Leather scraps. Core wood, leather scraps, and trophies. Do we have enough deer trophies? I hope so. Stag breaker. Barely. To upgrade it, we need 10 bone and we need 2 trophies, which we don't have. Back to you later. That's not what I was expecting, but let's see. That's why I don't want to stand near the portal non-stop. rename that at some point if we decide this is where we're going to be. That ought to be a good fight. So it doesn't matter what time of day it is, it's always dark and rainy like that, like this. That Drugar's going down. And that bear can have it. I don't want it. But it's always dark and creepy in the swamp like this. So there's the swamp, and then we're back in the dark forest. Right on the edge in between. Another Drugar fighting that bear. The Drugar is going to eventually win. Unless that bear has time to heal. Is there a burial chamber around here, or are you just happy to see there's a burial chamber? Well, if we need to... Oh, that's the wrong icon. If we need more Surtling cores, that's copper. And that's copper. Farming this out would be fun. I'm not seeing, but you can almost never see what I'm looking for. Maybe right there. That green dot, that may be it. Let's go take a look. At some point, we're going to want to drink our poison potion. That's it. That's the building we want right there. That is the good stuff that we're looking for. Okay. Drugar. That wait for him to pull that axe back, and then I bring out my shield. Now, we need two things with us. We need a new portal, and we need the swamp key. But this is it. This is where we're headed. This is what's known as a sunken crypt. Hopefully, we're able to find more than one in the area. The other thing that we're liable to find, especially when we don't want to, is an abomination. And an abomination, I didn't want to be there. Is the troll equivalent for this biome. He's the big guy. Big scary guy. Alright. We want to look at this and find shortest path back to our house. Because we're going to have to be hauling minerals out of here. As long as they're here, there's a couple things we can do. Level off this back. It'd be nice if we could fill that up. Because the next thing I want to do is put a crafting table right there. And then we can jump up on top of this building. We'll put a portal up there. And our portal's safe. Nobody will come up here and bother it. Now, back towards our base. It's over that way. So, we want a path to get in and out easily. I don't know if I explained it, but the way raised ground works is it tries to get the ground to be the same level as where you're standing. That becomes kind of important in the swamp, because if you're standing down in the water, you're not going to raise the ground up above the water. So I like to stand on the highest point I can to raise ground, and then I like a nice clear path. To get in and out of the swamp. Something that's on dry ground so that we don't get a bunch of those leeches. Like that one. There we go. Frost resistance potion. Let's make one of those before too long and not wait till we need it. We did for the poison resistance potion. Got some friends coming to say hi. And this is the find of the day, along with our crypt right over there. But this right here, that's our new crop. And that gives us new tier of food, which can really, you know, skills are one thing, but food is really how you proceed in this game. Having the right food. Oh, look at that guy's up on land now. Slow process making these paths. It sure makes getting in and out a lot easier. Alright, let's get some of our stamina back because we got company. That one's a bow person, so force him to come to you. Now we're not rested. So I say we try to get out of here as quick as we can. But I heard something that made me uncomfortable back there, but I'm not sure what it was. So this must be the edge of the swamp. No, Black Forest. And I'm guessing it's starting to get late in the day because we're at the end of our rested bonus. And that's a hard thing in the swamp. You lose track of what time it is. We could add a fireplace in here. I'm not sure there's a reason to. Because I think most of the time we're just going to jump through. No, we're going to end up expanding that. Well, guys, we've got a good start. That's exactly where we want to be. We've found the... Huh, what died out there? We found the... Let me finish. Can't think. Guess it's too late. I should be calling it a day. We found the sunken crypt. We found a good location in the swamp for at least getting our toes wet, because that sunken crypt is what it's all about. And we got the bonus of finding some turnip seeds. We didn't look at those, but here's the turnip seeds. These are the blood bags. Ick. And these are the turnip seeds. We want to get those in the ground first thing in the morning. I'd like to wrap it up here, but I don't want to forget about these turnip seeds. So now we've got a new kind of meat. Let's get rid of the bones. There's our bone pile. And it's max, and we need to go take it to overflow. And I thought we had stone somewhere. Yeah, right there. So let's drop that and a rock pile outside. Maybe we need to expand the storage. Getting too much junk. Probably take these guys. To where we're building, where our second base is. Alright, there's nothing in there. That's good. Nothing in there. I don't remember killing stuff over here. Is that where we shot a couple of things with the bow? Gonna take those, but we don't need them yet. Gonna need that swamp key. It's always one more thing, isn't it? $92. We need to feed the pigs. One, two, three, four. Oh, we got another pig loose. 6, 7, 8. I don't know how they get out, but they do. Have they broken the fence somewhere? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's one more than we want, but... Oh, and we got 10 carrots, so there we go. Have at it, boys. $156 seeds. Wish we could find that other vendor, because I want to use the faster method of harvesting. I'm going to stay pretty close to these ones by the edge so they don't fall in. All right. We have got 165 new carrots, 156 carrot seeds, 6 turnip seeds. So I'm going to add a little something here. Oh, these are new. We've got our archery target and twig, which twig is a training dummy that you can use to up your skills. I've never used him, but he is there. Getting late and I need to go to bed. Me and my character. Now we could leave that like that and it's fine, but it looks funny, so I'm going to put some posts on it. And I think that post might even be out of the ground, but at least it helps it look a little better. And then we'll save this stuff. These 50 are for planting. These 50 are for feeding the animals. And the rest we're going to take inside. And if he eats my turnip plants, I'm going to be very disappointed. Didn't want... Yeah, alright, let's go with bones. might as well keep the butcher knife out here next to Big Pen. That is the tiniest little spot. I guess he can squeeze through there. Because all of this else is continuous. With no gaps. Okay, now there's definitely no gap. That chute's not going to work like that if we do this. I'm not sure that we'll ever use that chute again. And if we do, I guess we'll worry about it then. And that wasn't meant to rhyme, it just came out that way. It was weird, I'm not sure why that popped up like that. It's time to rethink the location of these two guys. Yeah, I saw an interesting video. Beehives. I might have to try it. Probably take some experimentation. No. That's the best we can do right there. That's not too bad. Didn't look super close at that, so I'm going to do it from memory. Yeah, I don't think you could do that, but I guess we'll see. I hope that was just an illustration of it. We didn't actually lose anything. Now this may mess up this guy. Before I put him on this backside, I want to see if that in between works. They're happy. They're happy. They're happy. That is And we can run under it. That's pretty efficient. And the honey's just going to fall down to us when it's time. Kind of like that. Good old Reddit. Wrong keystroke, as usual. Gotta start paying attention to where you're putting your fingers down, bud. It's always the last place you look, isn't it? I wonder why that is there? Need 10 more wood. It's getting dark. Got some over here, I'm sure. And we can put one here too. They went to sleep. Finally. One more bee and we're done. Second chest. I don't think we're going to lack for honey. That is amazing. Also be a real pain to clean up if somebody broke it. Yeah, that's interesting. They're all happy. Why is it we always are out of fine wood? I swear we got a ton of it. We need to keep all of our core wood together. Is that really? That's it. Hey, did our tree grow yet? It did. Look at that. We need to go plant the other ones. Acorns, acorns. Down here with seeds. Yeah. I like that. It's a nice touch. And we need more. Fine wood. So, what better way to get it? It's amazing how this has changed. Because I was just looking at the video when we started this area. And the forest wasn't that far away from where this house is. That is amazing. He's got one honey already. What is that? 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 beehives. And I don't think I've ever had them in that small a space. Well, we are going to need more Surtling cores. Yeah. Need 50. 20 is plenty. And we also don't need... I was going to get rid of those. Don't need to carry this with us. We do need that. We probably should repair it. We might want the torch. That's a big might. Not gonna want the boat. Yeah. Storage is getting crowded, but we're also about to find a way to make it less crowded. We need 10 eyes. And I think we can now make a portal without a problem. Let's head to the swamp and drop this on top. And let's take a peek inside. Before we do that, we're going to do something else. We're going to rename this swamp. And we're going to leave this blank. this swamp to make sure it connects. Now we're going to head out. Blueberries back already? I didn't think we were gone long enough for them to grow back. Did we not pick them last time? Well, the fact that you're standing there means there's no Drugar around. At least right here. Now's the time to drink the potion. Because of these guys right here. Logs. And we get the ooze. And since we're poison resistant now, I don't mind jumping in the water with you. I thought I heard a buzzing like a beehive. There's another one. Come on. We've still got 9 minutes on our poison. We can use those blood bags. They're going to come in handy. It's a good chunk off our health, though. Stamina. Wet debuff. 1 rock. We could have brought more rock with us. Okay. Any kind of stone around. See any. I'd really like some. Here we go. That added 4, said. So now we've got our 5. Which is what we wanted. Here we go. This is why we're here. Since we always have that wet debuff, let's dry off. Drop a little fire right there. Now, I can hear a Drugar. Can't be there. Can't be there. Now, that noise. That that fly noise you hear, that's a spawner. Now we've got a new item, poison arrow. Those come in handy, especially in the next biome. So we'll save them up, and we get lots of treasure. Oh, look at this. Not going to take us long to find the boss. There he is. He's not terribly far away. We'll just have to sail from Hildir over to Bone Mass. And that's the boss of the swamp area. It's nice that we already found him. Alright, was there a chest? Not there, not there, not there, not there. This chest right here. I got it. No. Okay. Can't go through there. Alright, we got 11 minutes. Let's put that up there. We're gonna need these. Switch these two. And there's why we're here. Scrap iron. Scrap iron is our next tier metal. Now, this is why we brought this guy along. AoE damage can go through walls, so we just kind of watch to see if there's any damage numbers that come up on the other side of the wall, to see if there's anybody waiting in there for us. Muddy scrap pile. Muddy scrap piles are where we get the scrap iron. Already at it, that's for sure. Don't think there's anything there or there. Withered bone is what we need to call, summon, bone mass when we finally get to bone mass. You can hear the Drugar back there. They're just waiting for us. See any damage numbers, so we're not reaching anybody. There's nothing there. Yeah, dead end. I don't know how many more yellow mushrooms we actually need. But I wish I had my headlamp so I could see in here. Yeah, everybody we want is in there. I'm going to use this chest at the end of the aisle to hold this stuff. All the rest of the stuff we can port back with. Poison potion is worn off, and we can hear oozes in here, so want to be careful about that. Ruby, we'll take that. Yellow mushrooms, nah. Sorry about that, didn't mean to cough in your ear. Let's see what happens here. Yes, lots of damage. Now they moved away. Either moved away or we killed them. Nope. As long as we're getting damage numbers, there's something over there. Alright, let's go a little further. The bad part is when we go so far and the archer can shoot through. I don't see anything. Time. I think it's the best we're going to get. So, it takes a while to get through these. Our trophy, so we definitely took somebody out. And we can't pick anything else up. I think we need to clear out inventory. We need to get a rested bonus. The rested bonus is easy because we can just wait right here and rest. thought we came... Where was that chest? Oh, it's down here. Anything else I don't necessarily... Yeah, let's just drop that in here. Let's run back there and see what else we've got. There we go. Let's head back. Let's get our rested bonus. Get our rested bonus. Head back and end it here, and we'll pick up in this sunken crypt on the next video. Alright. Now, if this is nighttime, which it usually is about now, yep, we've got to worry about race, because they'll fly down on top of us. Now, we can come back here and rest and unload a bunch of this stuff, but the iron itself, we're going to have to carry out. This, I can never decide. Is that a food? Is it a crafting item? It's both. I don't have room for it in food. Don't have room for it in crafting items. Oh yeah, we'll find a lot of leather scraps in there. To overflow. Our overflow is overflown. That's just kind of worthless. All right, we'll wrap it up there. We'll continue in the iron mines or sunken crypts next time. Thanks for joining. I am Grandpa Bud. We're playing Valheim. We're playing Valheim. And thanks for joining. Y'all have a good one.